Kakegurui by Studio Mappa was one of the most hyped anime series last season, and it wasn't hard to see why. A high-stakes gambling manga produced by one of the best anime studios, it seemed like a smash hit in the making. But this show, like a puzzle featuring an albino polar bear in a snowstorm with no corners, proves that even if all the pieces are there, it's not indicative of success. Kakegurui stars Yumiko, a character whose very existence is fan service, as she transfers to a high school where everything is determined by gambling. There, the drooling audience discovers that she's a gambling genius, who doesn't actually care about winning or losing. Instead, Yumiko is only interested in higher and higher stakes because the only thing she cares about is putting together an infantry, cavalry, and cannon unit to make a risk. Her lack of monetary concern and near savant status makes her impossible to relate to anyone whose last name isn't Gates. The stand-in is supposed to be filled by the male lead, a character whose job is to be expositioned to and be so boring that my brain rejected knowledge of his name as soon as the credits ran each episode. Speaking of this, I want to start a petition to ban main characters that exist only to have things be explained at them. It's some of the laziest screenwriting on the planet besides magic or he's just alive, deal with it. The characters are the principal issue with the show in that they forego any tension from being realistically created over the course of the 12-episode run. Yumiko can go into enough debt to make the US Treasury jealous without being phased. The other two female characters, Saotome and Sumeragi, who are both much more interesting because they have desires beyond just gambling, are sidelined to provide commentary or act to further Yumiko. I won't even bring up the cardboard cutout. I think the creators were relying on a no game, no life style of you know they're gonna win, you're just watching to figure out how kind of narrative, but it struggles because it skips between fantasy levels of genius to simple mind tricks and then just straight up luck. Tension is difficult to balance, and like a drunk walking a tightrope in an earthquake, Kakegurui just couldn't plant with both feet. I really like Studio Mappa, so this was pretty disappointing. The OST was unremarkable, the direction was uninspired with only a few shots being memorable or noteworthy. In fact, the whole aesthetic of the show just felt lacking. It reeked of, it's fine, I guess. Like if someone were to ask me, hey, what's the deal with Kakegurui's animation? I'd be like, it's fine, I guess. What about the character designs? They're fine, I guess. Do you know what my name is? It's fine, I guess. None of that holds true for the OP and episode 9's ED though. Those moments of brilliance were like sifting through a murky swamp to discover a secret beach filled with supermodels, sushi, and Half-Life 3 for a beautiful moment, before having to go back to the milky, lukewarm water. I feel like I keep going to the fundamentals for this show like your friend's dad trying to coach the 5th grade basketball team, but I just can't help it. For a show about risking it all, this show seems horrified to stray from the safe path, both in shaping the narrative and within the narrative. The Russian roulette game is the absolute epitome of playing it safe, to a degree where the viewer knows nothing will ever be truly at stake for the rest of the show. This is what I'm talking about when I say it's disappointing. The show isn't even trying to be something truly amazing, even if all the pieces are there. And those moments of sunlight flickering through the cloudy day make that gray all the more soul-shattering. This is a skip. I really hate to say that because it's far better than the other shows that will inevitably be joining it in this metaphorical trash heap, but I can in good conscience recommend this show. The fact is that it didn't really grab me in any way with a concept that should have made me be looking forward to it week after week, instead of stumbling upon the next episode 3 days after release. Kakegurui is a Necco wafer anime. On Halloween night as a kid, you're looking forward to Reese's, Snickers, Twizzlers. And so when you get to Mrs. Johnson's house on the street over and she gives you that inoffensive plain Necco wafer, it's all the more reason why 10 years later you TP her house in revenge. Should have given out Milky Way, Mrs. J. Should have given out Three Musketeers.